Hello everyone, welcome to another video of the monthly analysis of Indian share market. In this video, I am going to share my analysis of the Indian share market's performance for the just concluded month of August 2025. I am going to share my commentary on these 7 points: headlines of the month, key market indices performance, then we'll see the sector performance, we'll check out the IPO and other market activities, we'll check out the gold, silver, currency and oil prices variations. We'll see the performance of top 10 global economies. And finally, we see the future outlook for the next month and the conclusion of this month's performance. Let's see each of these points in some detail. Before moving on, please read the entire disclaimer carefully. So, first is the headlines of the month. We'll start with the Indian share market. In the Indian market, first is the US tariffs on Indian exports trigger market sell off across the sectors. Next is Indian indices and August with losses, and as I'll show you in the next slide, all the broader indices basically return negative returns in the month of August. Next is the strong Q1 FY26 GDP growth provides resilience. So the impact of this would be seen in the month of September rather than August because the data was released in the at the end of the August. Next is the FIs pull out significant funds, DIIs provide support. So we'll see the data, but it is quite clear that FIs are the net sellers in the Indian share market for quite some time now. And it is the DIIs who are basically providing the support, even outbuying the selling pressure of the FIs. And the fifth is the quarterly earning reports show mixed performance. So few companies show quite good performance, but a majority of them have, I would say, a lull performance in the month of in the first quarter. Let's see the international market news. US Federal Reserve hints at a September rate cut. So this is a significant news, and if it turns out to be true, and if the US Federal Reserve indeed cuts the rate, it could be a boost for not only the US market but the emerging markets as well. Next is the European Central Bank cautiously reduces rates. So the European Central Bank has reduced rate by I think 25 basis point or something. So quite not something significant, but at least they have reduced the rates. China's factory activity contracts for fifth straight month. So their growth, the rate at which they are growing, is declining. It seems. Crude oil prices remain volatile amid geopolitical tensions, and US appeals court deems most of the tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump as illegal. Now, the court has not banned any of the tariff as such, and the tariffs are still in place and has given time till 15th of October to the US president to appeal in the Supreme Court against the decision. So, again, no impact as such. The tariffs are still in place, and all the countries are still being bullied by the US president. Okay, now let's see the key market indices performance. So, this graph shows the performance of the top five broader indices of the Indian share market, and as you can see, all of them has given negative returns. Nifty 50 minus 1.21%, Nifty Next 50 minus 1.79%, Nifty Mid Cap 100 minus 2.83%, Nifty Small Cap 250 minus 3.58%, and Nifty 500 minus 1.82%. So all the five broader indices have given negative returns in the month of August. Let's move on and see the sector's performance. So this graph shows the performance at the sectoral level, and we can see that the auto sector has performed really well with 5.86%, along with consumption and MNC. Consumer durables and FMCG too gave positive returns, not significant, but at least gave positive returns. Apart from these, and so is manufacturing, apart from these six, all the other sectors have given negative returns in the month of August. with the worst hit being capital market, defense, oil and PSE, and realty sector. Let's move on and see the IPO and other market activities. So in IPO space, there were 13 IPOs in the main board which were open for subscription in August, and 16 were listed. Whereas in SME section, 28 were open for subscription and 27 were listed. In the OFS space, there were three OFS basically. First was from Tomev Construction and Infrastructure Limited. Next from Indosolar Limited. So Indosolar seems to be doing this OFS every month. And third is the Indian Cements Limited. Now let's see the SEBI's action. So there are several actions being taken by SEBI, but there were four specific actions which SEBI has took in the month of August. First was the crackdown on financial influencers and market manipulators. SEBI intensified its efforts against unregistered investment advisors and influencers who misled retail investors on social media platforms. The regulator announced it is working with major tech companies like Meta and Google to quickly take down misleading and fraudulent financial posts and advertisements. This action is aimed at protecting retail investors from pump and dump schemes and other forms of market abuse. So it's a good step. Next is the proposal to change block deal rules. Now, there was a fat finger trade which took place in the month of August, in which a brokerage firm accidentally placed two sell orders, and they were the huge orders which actually caused the share prices of the companies to go down by around 9% at one time. So, in response to that, SEBI released a consultation paper proposing to increase the minimum order size for block deals on stock exchanges from 10 crores to 25 crores. This move is intended to reduce the risk of price manipulation in large transactions and enhance overall market transparency. The proposed change also include a review of the pricing mechanism for these deals. SEBI also proposed to widen the price band for block deals from a narrow plus minus 1% to a broader plus minus 3%. Third action was the new regulations for algo trading. So, effective 1st of August 2025, SEBI's new framework for algo trading came into effect. The new rules require mandatory exchange approval for every algorithmic strategy, introduce stricter API access and security protocols, and mandate a unique exchange provided strategy ID for every order placed by an algo. And the fourth action is clarification on cybersecurity and cyber resilience framework. So SEBI issued clarification on its cybersecurity and cyber resilience framework CSCRF. The regulator specified that the framework applies only to systems exclusively used for regulated activities. It also updated the categorization thresholds for various regulatory entities such as portfolio managers for the purpose of compliance with the framework. Now, there are other miscellaneous activities which took place in the share market. One of the most important of them was the FII and DII's inflow and outflow. So basically, FIIs again were the net sellers in the Indian cash market with 46,903 crores of net selling, whereas DII outbought them with 94,828 crore rupees worth of shares in the cash market. Mutual fund SIPs continued to be reaching the all time high. So in August, the data for September was released, and the SIPs again created a new high, I would say, of 28,464 crore rupees. Bitcoin ended the month with the price of 95 lakh 45,868 rupees. Okay. Now let's move on and see the gold, silver, currency, and oil prices. So gold was closed at around 1 lakh 5,000 rupees for 10 grams or 24 carat, and the it reached a high of basically same 1 lakh 5,020 at the end of the month, and a low of 1 lakh 1,350 rupees. Silver, it is again reaching new highs every month, it seems, and silver closed at around 1,17,825 rupees per kilogram, and this is the high which it achieved at the end of the month. Low was around 1,13,000 rupees. Currency exchange rate, so USD to INR, it closed at around 88.18 rupees for 1 USD. At one time, it reached till 88.25 and it went low as 87.36 rupees against 1 USD. For the oil prices, Brent, the highest was $70 per barrel and the lowest was 61.29, whereas WTI, the highest was $69.70 per barrel and the lowest was 62.77. Now let's move on and see the top 10 global economies performance in the month of August. And you can clearly see India being the worst performer with minus 1.38%. Again, anyways, China is clearly being the best performing economy in the month of August with 7.97% return. Brazil being at the number 2 with 6.28, followed by Canada 4.79%, Japan 3.05%, Italy 2.95%, and USA with 1.91%. UK too gave positive returns with 0.60%, but uh, Germany gave negative 0.61%, France negative 0.88%, and India was the worst performing top economy in the world with minus 1.38% returns in the month of August. So, what can I say? A very bad patch from which the Indian economy is going on at the moment, Indian share market rather. Now, let's see the future outlook and the conclusion of the Indian share market's performance in the month of August. There are six key factors and trends to watch out for in September 2025. First is the US India trade tensions. Next would be the GST Council meeting, which is scheduled for the first week of September, I guess 3rd and 4th of September. Global central banks actions is another important point. Next is the DII support. So without DII supports, we would be, I don't know where we would be, but DIIs have been supporting Indian share market extensively. So let's keep an eye out on how they perform in the month of September. Geopolitical and global events, especially the ongoing SCO meeting in China. It will be watched by each and every significant country in the world. And last is the INR and USD exchange rate. So this need to improve for Indian share market to improve. This INR USD exchange rate need to improve. The dollar should go down as compared to Indian rupees if the Indian share market has to perform well. So finally, to conclude, August 2025 was a volatile month for the Indian share market with key indices closing in the red. The market faced significant headwinds from the new US tariffs on the Indian exports and a record breaking FII outflow. Our strong buying from DIIs provided crucial stability and prevented a steeper decline, highlighting the resilience of the domestic economy against external pressures. So, that is all from my side in this video. Thanks for watching it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Goodbye and happy investing.